Hi everyone. Right, here is the Ribble Endurance SLe. I'm just going to do a quick walk around and go through some of the components. We'll start off with the group set. This particular model's got the Shimano Ultegra. The mechanical version, they do actually spec this particular bike with the Ultegra Di2 at the highest level of, I believe £4,999. And of course we have the X35 ebikemotion hub motor, which really does give a useful little bit of extra assistance, especially when you get to a steep hill. It just makes going up the hill a lot easier. Basically, it really does, makes all the difference. Now the pedal assist is actually controlled by a little sensor ring, which is just in there by my finger. So basically when you turn, obviously the sensor ring turns as well, and there's a little sensor inside here which sends a signal to the motor controller. Right, down here, if I can get it open, we have the battery charging port. It's a 250 watt-hour battery, which is neatly concealed inside the frame here. So, I mean, looking at the bike, you really wouldn't know it was an e-bike. In fact, it doesn't even feel like an e-bike to ride. It feels like a normal bike. I weighed it on my digital scales earlier on. It came in at 11.2 kilograms. That was before I fitted the saddlebag. As you can see, it's got this really neat integrated cockpit. I'm not sure if these are alloy or carbon, but they may well be carbon, but very, very neat. It's actually a really comfortable bike to ride. What I'll do at the end of this little walk around is as you can see, it's a little bit dirty, and I've already been out for a 14-mile ride on it. So I'll upload some of that ride footage at the end of this video. This is your control system here. So basically, to power the system on, you just press and hold. It's yeah, we currently dropped one bar off the assist. I did have the assist on all the time when I was riding it. So basically, when you switch it on, it goes into the lowest power setting by default. You can actually switch that off. Now, to go up through the power settings, you basically double press, and you can see it will sort of change colour. Then you double press again. There we go. That's in full power mode there. And then if you double press it again, it's like a pink colour, which is no assist at all. So it's a really good system. Basically, the battery indicator, it starts off pink, goes to green, then it goes to red. But there is a partner app available, which is really easy to download, and it will give you other bits of data like pedaling cadence. You can pair a heart rate monitor up with it. I would imagine you could probably pair a power meter up with it if you have one, or if you have one fitted. So you can actually sort of see what sort of power you're putting through the pedals against what, how much, obviously what power the motor's giving you as well. But yeah, it's a really, really nice bike. I was actually pleasantly surprised at how comfortable it was, because this is probably a little bit on the small side for me. This is a medium frame. It's got a very responsive feel to the handling. It feels very, very snappy through the bends. I mean, I didn't push it too hard, basically because the lanes are still a bit greasy. There's a lot of muck on the lanes at the moment, and still a lot of diesel about, bit of ice around as well. So although I rode it quite fast on the descents, I didn't go as fast as I would normally go. So one thing I will say is the brakes, which are these beauties here, are absolutely superb. They really do work well. I mean, fantastic brakes. But yeah, as you can see, it's a lovely bike. The frame's absolutely beautiful. It's a full carbon frame, carbon seat post. I did have a little issue with the seat post here. I actually took this seat post up to the 10 Newton meters, don't know if you can see down there. Yeah, I did talk this up to 10 Newton meters, and literally I come down on the first descent. I come down hill, hit a bit of a rut in the road, and yeah, the bloody seat post dropped. So I ended up pedalling with my knees around my ears almost. I had to stop and redo the seat post. I'm always a little bit nervous about not using a torque wrench on these carbon seat posts, because anyone that's used one before knows they do sort of crack quite easily. We've got a lovely Physique Antares saddle. Again, I'm a big chap. I'm 17 stone, 6'1", and actually I found it quite comfortable. I had no numbness in the nether regions. I didn't even get any numbness in my hands, which is quite unusual when I'm riding drops. The drop position for me was a little bit on the low side. Almost felt like my nose was on the tarmac, but certainly made for an aero position. And it does go really well with the assist switched off. You know, you can still put some power down and get up to a good speed. I did a couple of Strava segments where I was averaging sort of 20, 22, 25 miles an hour. You know, over about a mile and a bit, I suppose. And it pops along, and it pops along really nicely. You know, it's you could basically ride this bike with the assist on, without the assist on. The choice is yours. Yes, it's a bit heavier than a regular carbon road bike. You know, if you took the motor off and the battery off, this is probably weighing at about 8 kilos, but it 8.5 kilos. But you know, it weighs in at about 11.2. So you know, I mean, this has even got some full Mavic carbon rims. We've got some Mavic tubeless tyres. I actually spec this bike with 28 mils, which I thought was really a real nice touch. It kind of, you know, especially riding around these country lanes. But hey, there you have it. The Ribble Endurance SLe carbon fibre electric road bike. It's an absolute gem. I'm really pleased that Ribble lent it to me so I could ride it. And what I'll do is I'll take some of the video clips, cobble them together, try and get a little bit of ride data overlaid, just to give you an impression of how it goes. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers. Ribble SLe Endurance test ride. Here we go. We'll switch the assist on. Be rude not to. Right, yeah. Right, we're currently in the lowest eco setting, well, it's eco mode, shall I say, and riding up the first climb, which just happens to be right outside my front door. I'm gonna get to the top of this hill and do a big descent, see how she handles. some wind. Straight into the big ring, I think. Yeah, I'm not going to go too crazy. The roads are still a bit greasy. And there's lots of big potholes about. Oh, there it goes again. Well, the seat post has dropped. Obviously I didn't do it up tight enough. So I'm going to get this segment out of the way. Oh, there it goes again. My knees will be up around my ears in a minute. Clive. How you doing, alright? Yeah. How you doing, alright? Right, I hope you enjoyed the video footage. There is more, but I want to keep the video as short as possible. So yeah, basically summing up my ride of the Ribble SLe, it's an absolutely fantastic bike, and also at £2,999 for the 105 entry level model, it's actually, I believe, the cheapest fully carbon electric road bike currently available. It really is great fun to ride. It's very sporty. It's marketed as an endurance bike, but I would certainly say the geometry is more leaning towards sporty riding. It's quite an aggressive riding position, actually. I mean, I did have the medium frame, which, you know, obviously being 6'1" was probably a little bit on the small side for me, but very responsive handling. Very easy to pedal with the assist switched off. Once you go beyond the 25 km/h limit, you know, the transition from going to e-assist to no assist at all is barely perceptible. Riding it without the assist on is an absolute doddle. It's just like riding a regular bike. So yeah, you literally can have an e-bike and a regular bike all in one. As far as the weight's concerned, that's really subjective. Now, me, I'm about 17 and a half stone, or around about 107, 108 kilograms. So I'm a big chap. It's the way I'm built. I used to be 21 stone. I actually lost about 4 stone through cycling. Both of my regular bikes weighing at about 11 kilograms. One's a cyclocross bike with flat handlebars, and the other one is an old Doors Galaxy touring bike from the 1990s. So that's quite a heavy bike as well. So getting on a Ribble and riding it without the assist, it felt absolutely fine. I would imagine if you're a light rider, if you're used to riding 8 kilo, 8.5 kilo bikes, and you jumped on a Ribble, you'd probably notice the extra weight. But I think, considering what you get for the price, you know, you get a full carbon frame, nice group set at 105 for the 2999 model, and you get an integrated battery and an electric motor. So, you know, you can literally take it out. So, like I've said before, I have a friend that's had one of these now for a couple of years, and he quite often he'll do a 100-mile bike ride in Devon or Cornwall, and what he'll do is he'll ride it like a regular bike for the first 50 miles or so, and then for the last 50 miles, when he's starting to get a little bit tired, he'll start using the e-assist on the steeper hills. And we've got plenty down in Devon and Cornwall. There's lots of steep hills down here. So yeah, in summing up, I think the Ribble SLe is an absolutely fantastic bike. It's certainly an option if you do, like me. I'm 51 now. I ride a mix of e-bike and regular bike, and I find it really helps my fitness. I find if I go out on my e-bike, I can ride much further. I only ever ride it in eco mode. I never use it above eco mode, my own personal e-bike. But I find I can still keep my heart rate in zone 2 and zone 3. I try and aim for zone 2 because I'm still carrying a bit of extra baggage around the midsection. That's probably more down to my diet than anything. I do tend to. I've got a soft spot for cider, and I do probably eat a lot of the wrong foods. But that's another story. But yeah. So yeah, the Ribble SLe, great bike, great fun. Big thanks to Ribble for letting me use the bike. I just wish the weather was better. The few weeks I've had the bike, the weather's been absolutely appalling. As you've seen from the video, the roads around where I live are pretty hazardous. There's lots of potholes, lots of muck on the road. The wet is, you just can't take chances in the rain because there's diesel everywhere, a lot of agricultural machinery. And then when it's been dry, I have to go out in the morning because I'm homeschooling the kids at the moment with my wife. So if I want to go out, I want to go out early in the morning. If it's dry, it's generally really icy, and you know, so I'm just kind of riding as much as I can at the moment, usually just going off for a quick hour and a half in the afternoon. But yeah, it's a great bike. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I will be adding more content in the future. Cheers.